Totally outweighed by the fact that his previous double recall was just huge, but not doing a ton of damage in this instance. Firebite Hero not really losing anything substantially. Lost a couple tank, like I think a tank, maybe 2 tanks, a few vultures, a couple SCVs, but not a whole lot in comparison. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. Hold on. And I'm back. Sorry, I had to blow my nose, and I've got my headset on now, so I would have been blowing my nose right into your ears, and that is probably a very disgusting thought to have. Oh man, I have too much fun sometimes. Anyways, Firebite Hero actually has managed to get a decent little clump of tanks back up. And I'm gonna try and see his upgrades here, because if Firebite Hero has his upgrades up pretty high, we could see a last ditch push with a substantial amount of forces, and that can actually be, I mean, if it's microed right, it can actually be really, really effective. Even if the Terran is behind economically, they can just pull up routes and you know, do like the goon swarm and just dive everything into the delve. And sorry, random reference to EVE Online there. I was just recently reading about that. If anyone's up in the EVE drama. Anyways, huge battle going on here. A bunch of stasis is taking out that first rank. It's going to make a nice big wall in the front, though, as well for the rest of the tanks. Not enough vultures in the mix, though. Where are all your vultures, Firebite Hero? You need to scan and get those vultures in there. Where are your vultures? He doesn't have any vultures in the mix. The zealots finally... No, actually, there's still a few zealots left. Not a very zealot-rich army, though. So, the lack of vultures isn't going to hurt quite as badly. He's got more tanks in the background. And oh my gosh, epic fail of an attack here. Oh, is he going to drag the mine into the... Oh, he doesn't drag the mine into those tanks. The tanks survive. Or if they may have been at full health and survived anyways. But that was really actually a big mistake by Movie. Look at all those tanks they were... He basically just threw his whole army down. I mean, that was like a Terran's dream. A nice impenetrable stasis wall in the front of most of his troops, and an only Dragoon army trying to run into tanks that are completely entrenched. There was no room for those Dragoons to maneuver either, so basically Movie just threw away a bunch of forces there for no particular reason. He's actually letting Firebite Hero back into this game. Movie had a really commanding lead, and now he keeps doing these failed recalls, and that was a huge failed attack. I mean, you saw the Dragoons were like trying to run in there, and Firebite Hero had his tanks beautifully tiered, where he had like a tank, you know, a couple tanks, and then, you know, a few inches behind it, a couple more tanks. He had tanks behind the ridges as well, so the Dragoons had a hard time firing over that. And that was just perfect situation, basically, for Firebite Hero. He was just able to kill off so many Dragoons, and the Dragoons had so many obstacles in the way because of the stasis and the ridges of this map that he could not actually get to the tanks in order to attack them at all. Anyway, still with a sizable army though, and now he's got like 7 bases. Firebite Hero back up to... got that 3rd base going again, so he's back up to 4 bases. So 4v7, not a horrible position to be in. I mean, well, it's pretty bad, but it's not, you know, it's doable if he can manage to do some damage to Movie here pretty soon. But Firebite Hero this whole time, this could be a bad recall. We've got mines there, we've got a bunch of turrets, could even take out the Arbiter beforehand if he manages to get the recall off. The recall right on top of mine! Oh, mine goes off, taking the shields off of all those units in the middle clump there. He's going to float that CC away, get the SCVs out of the way, but those units are severely softened up. He's got his own building CC in the way. He can't lift it to get out of the way, unfortunately, to take out those units. But that mine went off right in the clump of that recall and just took out most of the shields of those Dragoons and you know, half the Zealots as well. So he's able to clean this up pretty easily. Really not very effective there. He's got the Arbiter still in play though. He's going to try and recall the main. Well, or maybe it's just, little tiny recall in the back. It's going to get EMP'd. Oh, just a little bit too late on the EMP. He may try and take out that armory. That might be a good target to go for. I still keep forgetting to check the upgrades when they've clicked on Firebite Hero's units. But it looks like Firebite Hero had his forces back already, so he's in a good position to hold this off. But he's going to try and go and recall that 12 o'clock base is what it looks like as well. Firebite Hero had that position entrenched before. I don't know if he's still got those forces there. Or maybe he's not going to recall. Maybe he's just, yeah, he's still got a ton of stuff there. He's got mines, he's got turrets, he's got tanks. It's not going to be a good position to recall. No, don't do it, movie. Oh, mine's going to go off. Soften up those forces as well. Good storms, though, actually. Nice storms. Oh, he's going to storm a bunch of SCVs as well. Nicely done, taking out almost all the SCVs at the base. He's actually going to clean that base up very well. Maybe that mine didn't actually somehow go off. Maybe the Dragoons kill off the mines somehow, but it looked like those mines had gone off. They were just too close. Again, Firebat Hero is going to be able to clean this up, though. It's not going to do a ton of permanent damage. He's trying to get a 5th base as well. Here comes another Arbiter coming in here. There's a single mine there if he recalls on top of it. And, oh, the mine goes off. Kills off the Templar immediately. So perfectly, perfect coincidence for Firebat Hero. Very, very lucky on his part. He's still got Marines in that bunker, that original bunker. But that mine went off and took out the Templar immediately as soon as that Templar warped in. And so the Templar was not able to storm those SCVs, able to keep those SCVs. And now he's getting his 5th base up at the sort of 3 o'clock position, unless those 2 Dragoons have something to say about it. Anyway, yeah, it looks like they are going to try and stop that base from going up. So, wow, this game is turning out to be epic. Absolutely epic. Recalls going off left and right. Thing is Firebat Hero has not done any damage to movie this whole time. He's either going to have to just build up a force and just push out with a ton of stuff here pretty soon, or he's just going to fold eventually to too much pressure, too many recalls over and over and over and over and over again. It looks like we're going to see another one. No, not another recall, I guess. And we're seeing smaller and smaller recalls. EMP goes off, taking out all the energy on those Templar. There was a few Templar in there. They're going to morph out to an Archon because they've got nothing better to do. And Firebat Hero is once again going to clean up yet another recall without too much of a problem. But he's just slowly and steadily whittling down Firebat Hero's forces. Both players with not that many forces, basically. But the recalls are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. He's going to take out that armory. Again, I keep forgetting to check the upgrades. Alright, click, now. Go! Click! Click on one of Firebat Hero's forces. Click! Go, Observer! Click on him! Click, 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 click. Oh, he almost clicked on it. Anyway, Firebat Hero probably has pretty good upgrades right now. So he may actually not even need that second armory if he's at 3-2 already or something like that. And just constant recalls. Movie is just totally keeping up the pressure right now and trying to get another base going as well. And that's Firebat Hero's been surviving, but again, like I said, he hasn't done any damage to Movie back. And here comes another recall. He's going to recall right on those tanks. He's going to recall right on the tanks. Nicely done. Stasis them as well. Again, though, that's going to create a nice wall. It's going to prevent him from really getting at those. But the storm is going to equalize that situation. He's going to be able to fall back behind that wall and take out that CC. Nicely done. Very, very smart maneuver there. Going for the CC instead of trying to take out those forces. The CC does go down. Looks like it's... Oh, and a nice storm is going to take out 3 tanks. Actually, it doesn't quite take them out, but the Dragoons might clean them up, yes. So those tanks are going to go down. Firebat Hero, his forces are just dwindling and dwindling. He keeps losing a few units to these recalls, and he's been so consistent with these recalls, so unrelenting is, I think, the right word for it. Unrelenting with his recalls, that Firebat Hero has slowly been, picked to death, nickeled and dimed, and more recently quartered to death by these constant recalls. We've probably seen like at least 10, probably 15 recalls in this game, just over and over again, one after another, not letting Firebat Hero set up his defenses. Firebat Hero has been admirably defending all of these recalls, though, putting up the mines, putting up the turrets, getting his tanks back in position. He's been doing a really good job of holding off these recalls. I mean, half as many recalls would have killed any most other players. Well, maybe not most other players, but a lot of other Terrans. Firebat Hero's been doing an excellent job of that. And here comes in. He doesn't have a lot of vultures here. Bunch of zealots coming in here. He kills off a ton of dragoons, though. Just blue goo everywhere. There's finally the last of his tanks being stasised and killed off. GG coming from Firebat Hero finally. Movie taking another game in a row, and that was absolutely epic. And I just got to hand it to Movie. Because even though Firebat Hero was playing superbly and really defending really well, Movie just playing a complete macro game, and that's something that, you know, I was really surprised actually at his macro abilities against Flash. And here we see him against a player of not of Flash's caliber, that macro ability really paying off, just completely out macroing FBH there with just tons of units and tons of bases. And I think he had like 8 bases at the end there, or he's putting up his 8th base, and just using 8 bases worth of minerals, just throwing them down Firebat Hero's throat, basically, like almost like a Zerg, like a Sauron Zerg kind of style. Anyways, so movie is gonna go on to face Jangby next. Should be. Take care. Thanks for watching.